My name is Geoff Eade, and I'm from Brandon, Mississippi, just outside the capital of Jackson. I've been a patient for sleep apnea since 2006, and coincidentally got into the sleep industry in 2008. I'm a registered sleep tech, and I work for a national company that helps people with sleep apnea. I run the medical group practice, and we also send home sleep tests out to patients so they could get diagnosed in the comfort of their home. My dad was 54 years old and had been diagnosed with sleep apnea, used his CPAP every night, and took a nap one afternoon in his recliner without it and didn't wake up. And so the weekend of his funeral, family members said, you have sleep apnea too, you need to get tested. And so I just started using his machine, which is a huge no-no. It was set to a pressure for him and his apnea. I hadn't even been tested yet. If you don't need a high pressure and you just use somebody's machine that's set to a high pressure, you can cause those central apneas, right? So I didn't know that. And I used this machine for about 6 months before I actually had an appointment in a sleep study. But once I had the study, then I had my own pressure, and it was less than his. I was early 20s, and no, I thought I slept fine, which is what we often hear patients say. Oh, I sleep fine, and I didn't have anything to compare it to really, and I didn't even realize it. And then when I finally did get rest, oh, there's a big difference. After years of working night shift before sleep in the healthcare industry, I worked in the emergency room as a technologist, and then in sleep, working night shift for so long, I developed shift work disorder. In addition to obstructive sleep apnea. After the throat surgery, I developed scar tissue in place of the soft tissue that causes obstructive sleep apnea. So the machine, ASV, stands for auto servo ventilation. And basically, your brain tells your diaphragm to not work, not contract and expand and contract. And as a result, your body doesn't make the effort to breathe. And so what this device, it's just a different setting, is it sends out a burst of air that reminds your brain to, oh yeah, we're supposed to breathe. And then it provides the air pressure just like a PAP, and you take that breath. And it's constantly adjusting, the pressures needed. But now I've had too high of a pressure, so my brain tells my body to stop breathing. So that's central sleep apnea. And that's, it's interesting to say and to bring up. It's important because not everybody will have just obstructive sleep apnea, maybe not even apnea at all. They may have a sleep disorder, and there's 108 sleep disorders out there, and they may have a combination of many. Social support is excellent for anything that you're going through. Mental health as well as physical health, and it all connects. If there are days that I've gone without, family will say, "Hey, are you still using your machine?" Or, they'll pick up on that I'm fatigued, and I may not realize it just because I'm tired. I'm getting older, or I work too much, or whatever. But I would say the first thing is for those that were like me that say, "I sleep fine," you know, you don't have good rest to compare that to. There's a difference between sleep and rest. Rest is getting into restorative stages of sleep. And if you're having sleep disturbances, like from obstructive sleep apnea, that will have a major effect on your mental health, your physical health, and you may not even realize it because, again, you have nothing to compare it to. The second thing I would say is get screened, get tested. You have nothing to lose. It doesn't hurt, to do that, but you have everything to gain as well. And then the third thing is not every sleep disorder is treated with a CPAP mask and machine. So, but even then, if you have apnea, CPAP is the gold standard. It is the best. There are other options, which are great, but everybody is different and their treatment may be different. And the last thing I would say is don't give up, don't get frustrated. There are ways to get around it and to figure out what's going to help you get rest.